First of all, guys, have been probably anticipating What If more so than any other of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, because I have such a fondness for those comics when I was a kid, those amazing What If comics, like What If Frank Castle was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the other crazy titles that were out there. But AC, first question I have for you is, how has What If changed the way that you look at future Marvel films?
I want to write one of them. I love Marvel. I've been trying to get in that building for a few years. So when they approached me to do What If, I couldn't resist the possibility of almost creating my whole own little universe of Marvel stories. I got to write 10 small Marvel movies. And now I feel like it was a real education in how to write an iconic character, how to take them apart, deconstruct them, find out what makes them tick, and then find new ways to tell the story. I mean, I'm a big sucker for an underdog. And at times, that's what Peggy Carter is. She's the woman who is not supposed to be in the room. She's the woman who's supposed to be on the sidelines pining for Steve Rogers. And we're like, nope, we're going to show a woman who knows her worth and see how that changes the world.
I absolutely love that. Now, Bryan, the animation style, this is something that looks completely new to me. Can you talk to me about choosing this kind of animation style? Because I know that in other films like The Animatrix, they use different types of animation to tell their story. But can you talk to me about the decision to make it look all, unified?
Yeah, I mean, early on we had talks and we thought like each episode may be a different look, but it's a little hard to produce, and plus it wouldn't make them cohesive. So we need to make it feel like these are all subtle variations off, a universe that we can all see, which is the MCU. The MCU looks a certain way, right? Because it's all live action. So we needed something. And so we were like, okay, one look only. And then what is that look going to be? And then I just felt like, everyone they hear, oh, animated Marvel, they're going to think certain things. And we've seen all of that before. So I didn't want any of that as cool and awesome as all that is. So I went with, I wanted to do something more with inspired by classic American illustrators, mainly J.C. Leyendecker from the 20s and 30s. His stuff is amazing. It's incredible. It's iconic. Hollywood's been trying to steal it, use it, animate it since day one. To various degrees of success and or failure, depending on your opinion.
Sure.
And Reiner Meinerding, the main visual effects guru, not effects, a visual designer, character designer of Marvel proper. He designed our characters for us, and he wanted to do something in animation as well. And he also loves J.C. Leyendecker, so we said yes. He has a way of, J.C. would. They're idealized, they're iconic, they're pushed in a slightly different, so it's live action adjacent. Sure. Enough to make it feel as if, okay, cool, I can buy into that this is an animated telling of these movies I just watched.
Absolutely. Now, AC, I have a question for you. Now, with Marvel, was there any mandates on which stories or movies to tackle, or was there anything off the table, or was it pretty much free reign and you got to really play in their sandbox with all their tools?
When it came to creating these episodes, when it comes to which characters, we wanted to make sure we gave a diversity. We didn't. Gotcha. I was not allowed to do just 10 episodes of Tony Stark,
right,
although I could have. So it was kind of making sure we kind of represent as many of the first 3 phases of Marvel as humanly possible, and kind of giving room for cameos, as bringing back as many of the actors. The only other mandate was don't do what's in the movies and have as much fun. Kind of show Marvel and show the fandom how big and vast and weird the multiverse can get.
That's one thing. In episode 2, we see T'Challa being Star-Lord. And I have a couple quick questions about that. Number one, can you talk about your experience working with the great Chadwick Boseman? And number 2, the tone of that, you kept the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy, but so much changes just by replacing him with T'Challa. Can you just talk about the brainstorming and how the ripple effect works on something like this?
Well, I'll talk about the episode, and I'll leave talking of directing Chadwick to Bryan. When it came to the episode, obviously we were breaking that long before Chadwick's death, and it was supposed to be a little bit more fun. Obviously now it has a more serious tone given the circumstances, but we're kind of starting off with let's have some fun. Let's let T'Challa cut loose. T'Challa's an interesting character because he himself does not arc. He changes the world around him. We've seen that in Black Panther. And so when it came to this was well, how would a man like T'Challa change the galaxy? What would that ripple effect be? Now, he's still the king. He still carries himself as a man who knows what he's doing and can pull off anything. So that was kind of the fun and the challenge, and making him a little bit lighter, a little sillier, bringing in more of the Ravagers. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but we see several characters in new lights, including one feathered one.
Right. And then, Bryan, can you talk about your experience working with Chadwick?
It was amazing. It's like we only got him for such a small moment, not compared to the experience of everyone who worked with him on Black Panther, or, Ma Rainey, or any of the other things that he's done. It was amazing. We were just glad that we got him. He was one of the first one of the first actors that actually, I think, responded. It was like, yeah, I'm going to do this with you guys. This is great. And he was really excited about this version of T'Challa, because he got to be a little bit goofier, got to be a little bit funny, didn't have the mantle of the king. So it was like a different way for him to put his stamp on T'Challa, Black Panther, etc., but give the audience another version. And it's amazing because he knew what he was going through, and he knew what was happening, and this was something that he wanted to help bring into the world. So to me, that speaks volumes, because he felt it was important. It's T'Challa. We love T'Challa, we love Black Panther, but we also love Chadwick Boseman, and just being able to work with him in such a small capacity. And he was like, he was epic. He's like golden. He's like, the guy's got talent for days. And it was just so amazing just seeing him work and having a front row seat to that and help bring this to life. It was great.
Well, look, the show is so much fun. I love it. I love the Rod Serling style intro that the Watcher does. And I'm excited to see where that character goes and how he evolves throughout the course of the series as well. But thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.